you could, in 1 year, a year from today, you could have pretty high numbers all the way around this wheel. You see what this is doing, right? This gives you a snapshot. When you look at this, the idea with this wheel is that you want it to be big and round, right? But if it's lopsided like this one right here, then it's going to be a pretty bumpy ride. And this is why we have the stress that we have in our business, because we don't have the systems. And if we don't have the systems, then our people are not going to be able to be as effective as they could be, even if you have good people. As Michael Gerber puts it, you get extraordinary results with ordinary people. Of course, he and I don't believe the same thing about everything. I don't believe that there's any such thing as an ordinary person, but there are people who are not ready to step up yet. There are people who are not ready to win. So, born to win, but they're not ready to win. So, I'm going to give you 7 questions to ask yourself today if you want to write them down. Number 1 is, when you look at that org chart that we looked at, the question is, what do you want? What position do you want to be in your business? I call that the clarity question. What do you want? What is your goal? What is your goal for you in your business? I call that the clarity question. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? Remember that the one and only reason your business exists is to be a vehicle to help you achieve your life goals. So be clear about your life goals. What's the lifestyle that you want to lead? What role do you want to play in the business? Okay. I always like marketing and sales. That's the part that I just enjoyed. And then I started hiring people. So I found out that I didn't like managing very much. I like leading. I like creating the vision. I like, creating systems, but I realized that I wanted to be here at the beach instead of stuck in my business. And when I realized I could have a turnkey business, then that was my opportunity to build a turnkey business. Or that was my reason for building a turnkey business at first. I didn't know that God was calling me to lead this inner circle and do all this stuff that I'm doing today. I didn't know. And so today, my purpose is to help small business owners fix their business, transform their business so that they can actually live the life that they want to live. That's what inspires me. And every single day, I get emails, text messages, whatever, feedback from business owners that are in our inner circle that are having those breakthroughs. So that's the clarity question. And you're going to go through 5 different stages through your business. First stage is survival. Then with systems, you'll get stable. Then you can move to success once you have a team, and success is you're profitable, your business is more predictable. Maybe it's not turnkey, maybe you're not where you want to be yet. But I believe that one of the most important stages to get to in your business is the significant stage. That when you are impacting other people, that other people in your organization are growing as a result of the business that you built. Final stage is scale. If you want to get turnkey, you want to do something else, you want to grow multiple locations or whatever, that's totally up to you, because it all depends on your life goals. And one of the things I encourage you guys to do, everybody to do, is to think and dream without limitation. The second question is, why do you want it? What's your why? I call that the cause question, because that question is answered with because. Why do you want to do all that? Because. Why do you want to do all that? Because. So there's an old saying that says, when you find your why, you'll find your way. Number 3 is, what's your biggest challenge? That's the conflict question. The conflict question, what's your biggest challenge? And if we're honest, our biggest challenge is the one looking back at us in the mirror, right? How many would agree with that? Clarence, you like that? Yeah, 100%. We have to take action on that vision. And in order to move forward, we're going to have systems. We're going to have people. And when you get the right systems in place, you get the right people in place, now you can start getting some traction. Number 4 is, what do you need to know? What do you need to know? I call this the curriculum question. It's not a content question, because I started thinking about this last year. Why is it that there are millions of podcasts, millions of books on personal development, business growth, the Bible, and everything else, but yet we still struggle? Or maybe if we're not struggling, we're not doing as well as we could. There's still gaps. If you look at that wheel, you're seeing the gaps, right? Why is that? Because that content, that training needs to be put into a curriculum. I call this the curriculum question. I read all the time. I'm reading books all the time. I'm getting new content all the time. But then we take that content and we put it into our curriculum. Where does this validate, accelerate? Where does it fit in our framework, right? So otherwise, just a bunch of information, right? So we have to have a way to get that into a framework. So what we've done in Inner Circle is we've taken leadership, marketing, sales, operations, administration, all these things that you see on these checklists, and we've created a curriculum. We've created a training around it so that you can go through that training step by step. Your people can go through that training. Number 5 is, who do you need to work with? Who do you need to work with to accomplish your goal, to get where you want to go? This is called the coaching question. I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't sit in this seat literally living my dream with a turnkey business without the coaching that took place over the years. What's going to help you unlock your vision and unlock your challenges and help you move forward is coaching. And the reason is what coaching really does for all of us. I'm talking about myself too. Is if we want to move to the next level, we need to learn from people who have already been there. Like Austin, I don't know how you knew that, maybe from your martial arts background, I don't know. But he figured out, if I'm going to be a millionaire, I need a millionaire mentor. If you're going to be a successful business owner, then we got to have coaches in our life. And what coaches do is helps us with perspective, right? Because there's a lot going on in here, right? And so when we can flesh it out and a good coach asks us some good questions, we get more clarity. Going back to the question number 1, we cut out a lot of the confusion. I see Bobby, shaking your head, nodding your head, right? We all need that. I need that. All of us need that. Question number 6, what's your plan? What is your plan? I call this the compass question because when you're trying to go somewhere, you need direction. And your roadmap, your business plan is going to guide you there. And in our business planning process, what you do is you set your vision for the next year. You assess your business systems. You've got those systems. You go through what we call a SWOT analysis. You set your sales goals and your budget for the next 12 months. Create your MVP. You want to create your future organizational chart where you're not in all those boxes anymore. Create your PRDs and then create your marketing and sales plan. There's 8 steps. Number 7 is when do you want to arrive? When do you want to arrive? This is the calendar question. And what we do here is we have a 1-year program because we know that if, first of all, you can have some immediate success. I mean, I'm going to give you a stat that's very important statistic. This is from Gary Keller, based on research. Gary Keller built the largest residential real estate company in the country, probably in the world by every measure. And he wrote a book called The One Thing. I went through the One Thing training, got certified in the One Thing, and I've taught that over the years. And the quote is this: those who have written goals are 39% more likely to succeed. 39%. And when I say written goals, I don't mean just a few things written down that you forget about. I mean having that business plan, that vision. And what we do is we help you break those down into manageable chunks, what we call the Phenomenal 4 projects, Every day you're working on those projects, working on those goals, right? Now get this. Those who have written goals and weekly accountability are 74% more likely to reach their goal. I discovered something a long time ago that just it changed my life. And what I discovered is that we will improve our life, improve our business better when we have community, support, encouragement, accountability, and when that's done in a weekly small group.